You look like you could use a fucking lamp. Da, 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 da. One of the best songs I've heard in a long time. You look like you could use a fucking lamp. Ba-da-da-da-da. Stoic store. I feel like that's just the entire American economy. Here you go. You want to feel something? Buy this. Don't fall over. Come on. Come on. No. Oh, good Lord, no. Good. Raoul battles the microphone stand. That actually is pretty much the name of every stream and quiet. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. Thumb tightening. Okay. There. This is. Okay, there's that. Good stuff. Alright, please don't fall over microphone. You're very heavy. Alright. Oh, no. Yep. See, right on cue, man. What the fuck? The universe tells you not to talk to inanimate objects. Then you talk to inanimate objects. Then you remind the universe that things are very stressful right now. And that's what happens when people get very stressed out. It yells at you again. Don't talk to the inanimate objects. And you're just like, well, I kind of feel like an inanimate object for how much people actually give a fuck. Okay. Kind of, sort of. How were you staying up before? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, let's just try. Maybe we'll just lower the gravity here a bit, and then hopefully that everybody isn't like losing their mind listening to me wrestle with the microphone and not having a nice pleasant banner in the background. 1 second here. Window. Hello, window. Hi, I'm a window. See? I'm talking to animated objects again. I guess it's animated, so I don't know. Yeah, we're back. Hey, what's up? Sorry about that, Game Lord. I unplugged the cable, and then I realized that the cable is how I was getting the internet connection. So yeah, hopefully later today I'll be doing some budgeting, but we'll see what happens. I'm just trying to set this up so that like, the actual microphone doesn't freak the flying fuck out. There we go. There's this, and then that's that, and then there's this. Oh boy. Okay, there we go. All right, not the most ergonomic position, but hey. Oh, fuck off, headphones. What have you done? Okay, hold on. Just one moment. Okay, hold on. We're here. I'm back. And we're back. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. Hello, everybody. What's going down? I'm trying to, like, just organize a couple of things here. Where the fuck is my mouse? Okay. Cans. Have you guys checked out Civi? You guys know Civi 11? I hope I don't, like, get a ding for this. One of these days, like, when I'm feeling a bit more reckless, I gotta set up a second channel for, like, maybe streaming some stuff, which is, like, you just don't know. Like, you want to up the content, but you're not sure if it's going to get hit by some kind of weird copyright thing. Because, like, man, if you don't know this guy, you know what? Let's just go and, like, do one of, like, if you don't know him, like, Civi 11, strong recommend. Really think he's a great creator. I hope he's one of those guys that bridges all the gaps of, like, various, you know, nuanced differences of various, let's go with, you know, whatever. Just 1 second. I want to, like, Hold on. Just let me turn off this camera. But you're already off. What is this? What is this then? What the fuck is this? I didn't change a single fucking setting since... What? What? And now that shortcut doesn't work either? What the fuck, OBS? Okay, there we go. Huh. Application error, client side exception has occurred. You know what? This is one of the reasons why I just, like, hold on. This is like one of those things where, generally speaking, I feel like almost all the time it's like Windows capture, like an actual monitor capture is the way to go. But sometimes you just never know you're gonna fuck up privacy, like what happened on that one stream. But you know what? Never mind. That actually wasn't me. But hey, what you gonna do? 1 second. Just give me a second here. Everybody just chill the fuck out, man. Task bar settings. Go here. And then taskbar behaviors. Optimize taskbar. The way that Windows designs menus is a fucking nightmare. Okay. I just optimize it for touch interactions, and though I do want to optimize for that, just not right now. Okay, here we go. See? This is the kind of shit. This is the kind of thing. You go here, you're like, look at this. Look at this motherfucking thing. It's just this big fucking black box. No reason. Doesn't make any goddamn sense why it's there right now. Especially right now, considering that, like, on my monitor, that's not what I'm seeing. What the fuck? This makes no sense whatsoever. What the fuck? That's like, what the fuck? That's not, oh right, I hit to hide the thing. Oh, 1 second here. Hide the overflow, hide this thing. Studio mode, importers, multi-view, click scene names, then focus. Automatic where stream is stream stops. Let's go back to some of the things. There's one that just is like hide OBS while doing your thing. Show source alignment snapping. We could do that, but it's enabled, so we'll just pretend like we know what the fuck that is. Let's show scene names, draw a safe area. Dear fucking God. I just want so badly sometimes to just scream and scream and scream. The way that, like, I love new features on everything, but man, is it rough sometimes when you're just like, every time there's just something, you're just like, guys, we gotta go back and like fix the original menu system. Automatically before streaming. Keep recording on stream loops. Automatically start with replay before streaming. Dialect starts chooses 7 yeah, well actually that's actually stop. You know what? Actually, we'll do those confirmations. That feels like a better option. Stable source alignment, other sources, snap sensitivity, high cursor projector, full screen, pre-importer studio mode, enable portrait vertical layout, and then one of the biggest things I really want to do if I ever get to actually start streaming again a lot is just make me having videos of me just getting fucking angry at menus. Just like absolutely losing my fucking mind. Just a non-stop, like, okay. Does anybody happen to know where the motherfucking button is for like hide OB? Oh, there, it's the first thing. It is literally hide OB windows from screen capture. Okay, yeah, that was probably made. You know what? Anyway, cool. Anyway, look at this box. And then get really angry at me again because it's doing the weird thing or it doesn't want to like actually show oh, here we go. Okay. This. Client application and or client side exception has occurred. Look. This is the thing. You know, like sometimes you guys stream or like you guys donate and like I don't hear it or something weird happens. This is the kind of shit. For no reason. Shouldn't happen. It makes no sense. Just like this. Or just like this. Like the reason why this is a restream channel, you can't make this any fucking smaller. Look at that. It's a fucking nightmare. All the way there. You're working on a single laptop window, but then you go here, close this out. Oh yeah. Now you can make it smaller. Yes, intuitive. So good. This is why all programs, every single thing that gets made, needs a leadership structure. It can't just be like, whoever the fuck takes this on, whatever. Like, you want the gold star of having contributed to a project. You have to like actually have like contributed to it, fixed it, someone has to have signed off on it. It's like one of the biggest fucking problems that like millennials created. Like, just contribute to this for free. And it's just like you get a whole bunch of shit that doesn't fucking work. Okay. But also, it's really cool software and actually works better than most other things. But hey, What you gonna do? Anyway, that's the alert box. I gotta go find the actual URL for the thing again. So we'll go and do that. But I gotta go here. And then for security reasons, I have to turn display off, but not that off. There you go. And we'll call. He's got such a beautiful face. I don't want to. You know what? He's so sad. We're gonna go ahead and do that for reasons we'll probably get into a lot later. How's the food? It's delicious. I just got a straight up cheese pizza, my dude. Like old school, just like that's what I was feeling. I'm gonna grab another one here in a little bit. Another slice here. Then I'm gonna hear back from hopefully one of my friends. Maybe we'll talk about men's emotional issues live on stream. Who knows? Let's see here. So I gotta say, streaming while lying down though, that does have its benefits. It really, really does. But for now, what was I about to go and fix? Right, the donation options. Really quick as we get back into the swing of this, which is easy as fuck, as long as there just aren't a mob of people swirling around you, pretty much talking like locusts. That's not the right streaming link. That would just give them a URL not found. And over here, then over here. Oh, now you're not receiving enough video information because you're a fucking asshole. But then it says the stream is healthy. Okay, yeah, it's just like one of those things where you just trust nothing, trust no one. It's okay though. Maybe. Okay. And then I love this. It says upcoming stream hasn't gone live yet, despite the fact that I really love YouTube. I really do. I really, really do. But it has some problems, especially considering right now it does not seem to be. Is Twitch actually working right now? Of course, now it is. Oh, good fucking God. Oh, diva, fucking motherfucking, yeah, fucking motherfucking diva, yeah. Sorry, not that sorry, but just fucking frustrated. Okay, went there on Twitter. By the way, okay, just take a breath. Gotta remind myself, take a breath. Okay. And then I tried using Stream Elements, but Stream Elements doesn't let people know in the chat that a donation was made. And I actually really don't like that. Like, if you're gonna fucking make a donation to something, the thing should tell you in the motherfucking chat, right? It's just, I don't know, that makes sense to me. And Stream Elements has this thing where it's like, this is the mature platform for mature people doing mature stuff. And I'm like, is it though? Because I mean, like, that kind of feels like 101. So I guess I'll probably go back to Streamlabs just because whatever, but then I have to put all the elements back in the other way. So it's all pretty much, you know, this is just the nature of what it's like to be a streamer, I guess, when you don't have a place to stream from. Anyway, okay. Are you going to work now? How about no? How about that? How about that? No, no, no. Fuck me then, I guess. Okay, how about that? Okay, what if we delete you? First and foremost, what if we just show this so we can show how much I'm fucking struggling with the issue? Here, here, and then go fuck yourself. It seemed to say out loud. Yes, okay, so add in another widget. Just kidding. Browser source. Where are you? There we go. Okay, we'll just go browser. Because I don't even want to invest any more time in labeling this shit if it doesn't work. And then suddenly, what do you know? It works. Behold, this is the nature of things. See, before, exact same widget, exact same everything, but for some fucking reason, this one doesn't work at all. Or didn't work at all. This one seems to be working. Let's even test it out. Check it out. Go here, go to edit. Also, I have no fucking idea how to launch, you know, what's the word? Surprise? Like, how do you do, not surprise, but like, how do you, you know, first one, close that down. But for some reason, we'll close. Makes sense to anybody? No, it sure doesn't. It doesn't. Nope, no click, no closey for you. Oh, look at that. Fuck you. Just kidding. It's like, look at this. Look at this. Oh no. Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna close. I really just I swear sometimes I just like, if you actually are a creative, the most satisfaction you'd probably get is just like watching me fight with stuff, most likely. Okay, Now we're just going to simulate this, because this is definitely the best way of doing something. So this is how many click-through, just to check and see if the fucking thing actually works. Cool. Place the essay. Okay, simulate it again. Okay, a random amount does not compute, even though I know this shit is uploaded. Okay, so hold on. But if I put in 10, I'm pretty sure it's actually gonna work correctly. Yep. Boom. Look at that. Good God. Oh, if you could see me now. Oh, the rage on my face would just, oh, oh, oh. And then for some reason, there we go, even though it's installed. I guess you type in too many of the letters for the application that you're trying to launch, and then so it's just like, I had you to RES, I had you RE and REST, but also, I did not have you RESTR. Oh, I'm gonna turn the display capture up, so I lose my fucking mind. Okay, hello everybody, which is, I'm assuming, Gamelord, and, you know, whoever randomly is just hanging out there just, like, watching quietly. It's okay. You can lurk. It's alright. I don't mind. You can creep in the comments and the whatevers. Anyway, we just want to come back here and do some more streaming. It's crazy. Like, I actually, like, really want to stream now that I'm not inundated with so much noise I can't fucking think. Turns out. Anyway, I really do hope that the district attorney of Boulder is not actually corrupt, because that would be par for the fucking course these days. Anyway, this is a wonderful, I'm assuming a good game that's a sequel to a really fantastic game that helped me get through another period of time where I was homeless, but back then I had a whole bunch of money. Still couldn't find a place to live in the Bay, though. That's just how that goes. Anyway, let's watch the recap, because if you haven't played the first one, it's actually kind of similar to High Fleet, just with a lot less insane micromanagement and kind of like post-civilization insanity war stuff. So let's watch the recap of the first one, hopefully.
When the sun stopped in the sky, life continued as normal. Then the stone-armored dredge reappeared.
Okay, he's smoking an arrow.
Reaches. And the world was thrown into chaos. Giant Varl defenders were slaughtered, their strongholds destroyed. Now Hakon is the Varl king and protects who is left of his race. Rook, a humble hunter and father of Alette, found himself leading frightened clansmen towards safety. His caravan crossed paths with Juno and Eyvind, two of the mysterious spellweavers known as Menders, who know something about the massive, mountain-breaking serpent on the loose. In Borsgard, a town under the protection of the mercenary leader Bolverk, both Varl and human stood against a dredge general, the immortal Sunder, known as Bellower. Juno devised a way to stop Bellower, but it cost the life of one held dear. The saga continues.
Ooh, yeah, that's, yeah. Beautifully animated, and one of my favorite things about this game is the structure of how the turns work. They both look like fucking stoned. Oh man, but I could import a save game. Ooh, I'm tempted. we could fight with OBS for a minute and then just download this motherfucker and just go for it. Let's see what happens. Like, if I have the save on, that would be fucking great. I would love to just keep going where I left off, for real. Let's see if it actually works, so we don't mutilate the stream by doing this. We'll see what happens. Eh? Oh, you know what? We might churn through all of, like, the stuff. Like, how much actual data? I mean, I guess, like, 3 gigabytes is, for, I guess, a phone connecting a lot of data. Which is one of those things. Oh, but it would be so good to just start where I left off. Oh, now we'll just see what the fuck happens, I guess. If we hit our data limit, then we'll just, I don't know, panic. That sounds like the way to go, right? Anyway, Mr. Homie G-Funk All-Star, how you doing? Gilmore, are you in the chat still? You sounded possessed by Stitch? Let me just check something. Check. Okay, so that is working. So that was something else that wasn't fucking working correctly. Oh. You mean like when I do that? Yeah, I remember that too. Oh, good God. Alright, there we go. Okay, cool. Good stuff. You know what? This is going to take for fucking ever, so I don't think that's how that's going to happen. But you know what we can do? Because, I mean, honestly, maybe this is fucked up. Because it is fucked up. But, honestly, I liked the last game so goddamn much that we're actually going to go and we're not going to play this. Why? Because the other one was, I just thought it was such a well-made game. I'd love to see what it's like when it handles the actual, the saves. So, what else do we got here that's like, feels not, twitchy enough? I think Sons of the Forest seems like a good choice. All things considered. Yeah, why not? Why? Because it's a great game. I love horror games, typically speaking. Alright, cool. It sucks when you're your own tech support. Dude, tell me about it. Okay, so let me just make sure my phone is properly set up here. I have tech support a lot of the time too. Okay, here we are. Now here's hoping that this will actually just like stabilize itself after a second here. Okay, let's try that. See if he's actually happier that way. We may have to do this tethered. I really gotta get Starlink at some point. Okay, cool, ka-choo. Alright, that's doing that thing. We'll pause that, so then that is check on that thing. And then there's that, which is also good. Okay, cool. Alright. Now that is what shoestringing a stream together live in person from the back of your car with terrible posture and not enough food or resources. So, what the fuck? I know for a motherfucking fact. Okay, you know, no, breathe. Just breathe. Just gotta breathe. Gotta breathe. It's gonna be one of those things where, like, I want to be able to, like, people, like, come in and... Well, you know what? We'll just play this single play. It feels like... Though I do hope Rhodey comes back to us one day. Peaceful heart is just do normal. I've learned my lesson. Who wants a challenge, right? Equip your GPS. Hey, GPS. Hello. Oh, God. We're just talking about turning on the GPS? I'm turned on. Why is that GPS? Because we're going somewhere. You sound suspiciously like me. We never stopped to believe in magic. We're diving into the light. Okay. Come on. I genuinely think just like Alex screams at the screen. Serious actual show potential. Alright, well, remember the intro? I remember the intro, so let's go. There we go. You're in the water, you pick up the thing, you gotta find a guy. You're part of some elite squad team, something, something, something. What the fuck? This is a completely different location. What? You can't be... That's not... Ugh. Alright. Sure. Fine. You're going to an island, and the survival pack you have has a hatchet and what appears to be a really nice Ziploc bag. Makes sense. Oh, wow, this is way too mouse sensitive. Not just an overall dead zone sensitive. Okay, fine. Fine by me. Why did that fuck with the music? What the fuck is this? They just turned it down by half and now it's increased by 2? What the fuck? That doesn't make... Okay. Oh, because it's ignoring the click-through thing. Ugh. Yeah, we may have to just go back to straight monitor stream so you guys can actually empathize with the rage I feel when I'm doing this shit. Okay. Alright, what was your name again? How about I hit you with a stick and find out? Or turn you into a campfire? Right. We take it. I just love this is, as a game mechanic, though fucked up, is very funny. Yeah, we'll go with follow me. What's this guy's name again? Dirk Beefsteak? Behold. Okay. Well, how do I pick this fucking shit? See? Yeah, alright, never mind. Oh, you guys, one day I hope really get to see the footage I have when I actually kind of pseudo crash landed in the wilderness. Game Lord knows what I'm talking about. Giggity. Okay. What about inventory? There we go. Add items to the map to combine them. Sure. Oh, my universe for a second monitor and a third monitor. Okay. Also, how you doing, Game Lord? How's life? How are things? God, I need an assistant, huh? Okay, double-A batteries. Looks like there is some cereal in here. Over this, emergency pack, open. Improvised Survival Manual, 3rd edition. When crash landing on a desert island full of crazies, it's important to realize that there will not be snow on a desert island. If not a desert island, continue to page 2. Page 2, this is only the reference manual for desert islands. Please be fucking off now. God damn. They're sarcastic even in the fucking cliff notes. Okay. I know, buddy. I feel you right there. Find Team B. What else was in that thing? Okay, a lighter, important to have. GPS tracker, important to have. Tape, and then this field notes thing. Cool. Very, very. Zoom in the tracker, pressing middle mouse, right mouse. You see, it's you highlight like you're the middle mouse, but you don't do fuck all like you're not the middle mouse. There we go. You still following me? Just look down at the note on your chest. It'll tell you where we're going. That's right. It just says follow me. Alright. Alright. Is this everything from the helicopter crash? Yes, it is. It is kind of cool though. You're starting a different biome. That's the kind of stuff that I like in a game. Just a little like, here's a little randomness. Have some fun with it. Just walk a little ways. You'll respect it if you played it once or twice before. Oh, pretty good. I had to put a fence patch, which was hell, since I hadn't swung a hammer in over a decade like that. Oh, yeah. Israel hits Gaza with extensive strikes, killing dozens and ending ceasefire. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, so let's just come over here. How he tried to contact the NSA. Let's go over here and just. Ooh, sledding. Come on, Dirk. What's. Wanna go sledding, Dirk? Stare at me heavy-lidded and empty-eyed if you wanna go sledding, Dirk. Was that you? Alright, let's figure out where the fuck we're going. I mean, you just gotta admit, that's a nice touch. Like, it's just cool. Did they have to do that? No. Okay, alright, we gotta go find team whatever the hell. Our GPS says that they're not sharing their they're not sharing their Google pin with us. Fuck. Okay, cool. Oh, that's harder than expected. Alright, let's go. Redacted. There we go. Alright, Dirk. Yeah, let's, we got a little bit of a walk, buddy. So, can you, what you got to say? Dirk, how you doing? How you feeling? How are your emotions at? I'm probably gonna have it. Yeah, I know, scary, right? I love how it just says pills, like the actual distinction isn't vitally important. Yeah, I know. It's just like, you'll make it. You'll figure it out. Just infer. Oh, how do we get down from this height, though? Wouldn't it be just awesome if you had a fucking buddy who wasn't completely silent to help you navigate where to find the other teams at? Ooh. Ah. Hello. Swing-a-ding. I mean, though I do think a knife is probably a better weapon in most situations, and axes. They're cannibals. How smart they're gonna be? They probably got, like, all kinds of, like, you know, flesh-eating diseases and stuff. Cool. Is that a rock? Oh, I thought that was, like, an actual thing that... No, yeah. Can I throw the rock? No rock? Okay. Eye rock? There we go. I mean, I guess, weren't we, like, struck by, like, a surface-to-air missile? So that's not super fun. Hey, buddy. I guess we're probably not. Gotta think like you're the actual character in the game. Are we in survival mode yet? No. Okay, so with that in mind, we would just go straight to the crash site. I always said, it's kind of like sometimes you want to play like you're the actual character in the game. That way you almost have more fun. But that does make streaming entertainment a little bit challenging, so gotta try and split the difference here. We'll just pretend like this is the inner thoughts of a guy who's going to stream at one point, or is a professional streamer. Just like, okay, stick. Just something we can hit with the stick. I wanted pain relief. I guess this raging erection's good too. Yeah, I feel you on that one. It's like, hey, it's fun. It's like a, you know. They really gotta have more just like grab bag of pills at more bars, you know, just games of New York, but with pharmacology. That kind of feels like the American version of Games of New York, doesn't it? Or not Games of New York, but you know exactly what I mean. If you haven't seen Gangs of New York, there's a thing where they like pour all their like excess liquor into a little into like a little jar or a big thing. You know what? Go watch it. It's really lighthearted, family-friendly fun. I'm sure if you ever watch it, it will make perfect sense, and you'll totally understand and remember this reference. Like, I think it's like Grog, where it's like the like leftovers of all the random stuff they had like at the bottom of certain stuff if people didn't finish it. Also, why did we just hard switch over to a stick? I had a knife out for a reason. Why? Because we were just struck by a surface-to-air motherfucking missile, so some degree of self-defense does seem somewhat important. Okay. Business up front, party in the back. Are you kidding me? Where's Dirk? Dirk doesn't seem up for defending himself yet. Hey, Dirk, come here, buddy. Hey, Dirk. Dirk, get the fuck. Are they chasing Dirk already? Yeah, oh god, they are good hunters. Of course that's gonna be the guy. Dirk, can I be. Hey, can we talk this out? Sorry, I swung at you. You're getting a little close. You look like you're trying to eat my friend by intention here, and that's a bit much. So we're gonna just keep walking, Christopher style, and then. Whoa. I don't think these guys are doing very good. I have some meds. Are you guys sure you're okay? I don't think these guys can operate any kind of surface-to-air missiles, so I think they're probably not going to try to kill us, but who knows. Dirk, come on, buddy. Why? Because the locals are playing some really come-hither games with us, and I don't want to attack them just yet. But they're mobbing us and making us feel kind of nuts. Let's get the fuck out of here, eh, Dirk? What was his name? Does he actually have a name in the game? I probably should check that, right? Oh, come on. Yes, of course. Go to the other side of the river, then cross the river, then come follow. Oh, Dirk, you're really trying my patience here. I know you have a head injury, and everything's just not going great for you, but let's go. Come on. Come. Yes, there we go. What's this? Oh, don't eat it. That's not what I was going for. Probably mallow, right? I'm gonna guess. Probably not white hemlock. Yarrow. I guess it's close. I guess yarrow is part of the... whatever. Not saying why I have experience with that shit, but fine. Ugh. Goblins using surface-to-air missiles sounds terrifying. I kind of want to, like, see... Is it weird that, like, in a fantasy setting, I kind of want to see, like, almost like a, continued World War II style of, like, Games Workshop. Like, you know, like more of like a modern, like fantasy, like goblins manning technicals and stuff, but like dead serious. How fucking cool of an idea would that be? No, I probably shouldn't say that out loud. I'll probably the shit kicked out of me for not like monetizing that and turning into something based on AI. Oh, look, blueberries. Oh yeah, I got a salad. It was really depressing, so I gotta like return it like a scallywag back to Whole Foods. Can we get Dirk to gather berries while we're like doing quest stuff? Hey, who has a stash of pills? Hungry were you? Jeez. I guess I can empathize. You could literally just call it warg. Be really artsy about it. Do we have to go down? Oh look, Merlot. How do we get on the rope? Do you think? Can we get on the rope? Tell me you can't climb a rope? I could probably climb that rope. Maybe. Come on, Dirk. Well, you might not be able. So, Warhammer? No, like I'm talking like, I mean, here's the thing. Warhammer is cool. I like Warhammer, but it's just like, I mean, well, okay. I should be a little bit more qualitative about that. Though I do like Warhammer, I do think it's a bit, what's the word? Which one's, like, there was one that stole a whole bunch of stuff, then trademarked it. I think that was Warhammer, right? And kind of did some real mean-spirited shit. Okay, what the fuck, man? Do we cut the rope? Do we throw rocks at the body? Come on, are we doing this Middle Eastern style, or just, like... Okay, I know your name is Kay in this. We're gonna call you Dirk. Why? Because you just look like a Dirk, okay? I'll see myself out. Thing is, one of the craziest things is, like, in some neurocognitive situations, I'm pretty sure that's actually kind of the stuff that happened. Like, you can order, like, understand basic, like, go here, do this kind of stuff. God, that has got to be really overwhelming. I mean, not like I have experience with something like that. Do you have to eat everything to try it out first? Come on, guy. Okay, so I guess maybe put the thing away? How do you have nothing in your hands at all? Okay, there we go. What? Why is this a puzzle? It's like, I guess we could just take the... Is it like we just take out the hatchet? Cool. And then do you want us to hit the rope? Okay, cool. Alright, fuck the rope then. Well, you know. Fuck the nice, hard, whatever, rope. Ugh, I have to go to sperm bake tomorrow to make money like a bitch. Yeah, oh, leaves. You wanna come with me, Dirk? Just bro pound it before you hit it? It actually makes me feel kind of disgusted because, you know, I don't like the idea of orphans not having a place to get adopted by, but hey, you know what? Yeah, looks like Team B's dead. Ooh, flashlights, good stuff. I have one of those myself. Also have a stick for hitting motherfuckers with. The locals seem a bit aggressive. being honest. Oh, look, you got a little rucksack. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second, because I'm going to see if I can answer this. And not fuck up my friend's privacy. So 1 second here. I'm going to turn this off. What it does.
I haven't. I don't think I've ever done that. Do you stream? What do you usually stream?
Well, back in the day, anyway, hello everybody, this is Shad. Say hello to Shad. I know you're not going to actually say hello to Shad, but yeah.
Hey, Shad. Hey, this is Shad.
hello, people whom I have no context for. This is Shad.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's a homie from back in the day when I went to film school. He had one of the funnier ideas for a short film that I remember. I remember your candy, like, sketch. Do you remember that one?
I don't know which one. Refresh my memory. We made a couple together that I thought were pretty funny.
Oh, do you have any of those still?
Yeah, I do.
Really? Oh, can I see those? Oh man, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite ones to show is that one where we did with Haley, where it was like a audience misdirection, where she's like, "You fucking cheated on me. You're a piece of shit. I'm taking the dog to my... Or you can keep the dog. I hate that bitch anyway. I'm going to my mom's house."
Oh, I vaguely remember this one.
We walk out into the living room, and like Call of Duty is going on, is like a split screen thing, and I'm like, "I never cheated on you. I promise. It was just a lucky shot." Like, whatever. You just headshot me from across the map.
Oh right, yeah.
And she like storms out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it just ends up being a couple arguing over the video game.
Yeah, and then I like type in like a massive code at the end. It's like cheat code enabled, instant headshots.
Dude, that really actually was the best. Like, oh.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't think you ended up. Maybe you ended up making it. Was like it was like a guy, but like his weapons were like candy.
Oh yeah.
And then like he was like, "Yo," like, and it was like he had like a secret. He gets like a secret dossier. Oh, thanks. By the way, you're gonna hear me say a couple weird names probably. Thanks, Game Lord. I've realized I need to make a club with sticks and rocks. That does seem kind of obvious now that you've mentioned it. Yeah, but I don't think we ended up making that one.
We actually did. It was for one of my. I think it was like for Prod 2 or something. We had to do like.
Oh wait, I think I might have like been the DP on that, possibly. I forget.
You were acting in it.
Oh yeah.
And then one of your, like, you remember your friend who did like special effects makeup?
Oh, like yeah. Like the guy who was actually like a pro at it.
Yeah, I think that was on the second day, and I don't know if you actually were there at that shoot, but we did like a sick like burn scar on him. He like did it in like 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, Evan. Like, do you know Evan went on to like? So Evan went on to be. He went on to be like. He went into sci-fi, and he actually became one of like the most. He got like an audience callback after he didn't win the like sci-fi makeup show, like it was like on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it was a reality TV show. Yeah, where he actually like went and became like where they like did competitions. You should look him up. He actually like went on to do big things.
I really want to do that because I was impressed by him. Like I just thought. I dabbled a little bit in the special effects makeup world, and I did some stuff that ended up being pretty cool. But Like it would take me forever to do it. Like he could just do it really fast. And
I mean,
I never had
he's
to like finish it. I had like a guy with like an airbrush. He was one of the guys I met. He like worked for Lucas Industries as an artist in film school. I don't know. I don't remember if I invited you to that set or not. But it was like it might have even been before I even met you and started hanging out with you. I don't remember, but
I remember it just being like film school was so high intensity. It was one of the only places where like there was just a blanket, like you invited who you remembered, and then that was it. Like there was never like you never got pissed off that you were not invited to somewhere. You're just like, look, dude, this is just like the
there was
stress.
just shit going on. It was like everything going on all everywhere all at once, like that movie.
Dude, have you seen that
Whatever
movie?
it's called.
I fucking
I
love that
have.
movie so
It's
much.
so good. But it's kind of like that where it's just like everything, everything was happening all the time, and is like that first semester, I think I shot or was a part of like 22 like student films in one semester. It was just every single waking moment, and I don't think we had school on Fridays if I remember correctly, because like Fridays were always like a big production day, and like every Friday I was always like booked, and sometimes I'd be like, oh, I gotta go to this set until from 6 in the morning until 1 o'clock, and then after that I'm going to this other buddy's set, and it was just constantly shooting. But there's so many films that I'm like, God, I wish I would have got the raw footage or even saw the film, because I barely even got to see. Like, just student filmmaking was terrible. It seems like they
Well,
never contact you back and be like, hey, here's the movie you worked on for hours on end.
yeah, I mean, like, I'm definitely, like, as a streamer, I definitely, like, realize that, like, one of the shittiest things you can do, that you just always kind of feel bad, is, like, if you try to, like, get someone's help and then, like, you don't follow through and, like, getting them the product that they participated in. But, like, also, I don't know, like, I really like that place, but I feel like being in Aurora made it nearly, like, if it was, like, in the middle of Denver, I thought that school would have been a lot more successful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was in a really sketchy area. Like when my parents helped move me out there, we got there and we saw the Community College of Aurora sign. It was all decrepit and just you couldn't even read the sign. There was like 5 bullet holes in it, and it just looked like somebody had taken a sandblaster to it. And my dad just like looks at me, he's like, "Shad, you don't have to go here. You can just come right home. With us. It's totally fine."
Your
He,
dad.
like, got all serious. Like he's like, he did not want me to go to this film school because this looked like a shithole. And we
That's
went in.
so.
The
That
building
is.
didn't get any better when we walked inside. It was all just shit and like it was just falling apart everywhere. It looked like it was like in a war zone.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Houses all dead around
It
the whole
was
building.
definitely like it felt. It's very like the best way to put it is like it's very just Colorado, you know, like it's one of those things where just like this is awesome on paper, right? You know, but like at the same time, it was also awesome because it was a fun experience to go through. But then if you were just like you tilt your head a little sideways and you're just like if it was just like in Denver though, like for
Right.
fuck's sake, you know, because
I mean,
Aurora
like,
is
that
so.
the building.
What?
The actual film school building was cool. Like it was just the community college of Aurora was just shit. Like everything over there was just not good. And then I walked into the film school and I was like, okay, this makes me feel a lot better. It's like very artsy looking and really nice, and like awesome studio with all this freaking sweet ass gear. It's like one of the best film equipment schools in the nation at the time. I think we were like third
Yeah.
school with a red camera. That so the gear was awesome, and like I loved everything about that. But it's just that initial looking at the crappy community college of Aurora.
I mean, it like you saw it, right? Like Aurora is just like, it kind of feels like the most hardcore inner city, and then a farm at the same time.
Yeah,
And you're just
that's
like
so
how does this make sense? You're like, I'm pretty sure I just passed like 3 fields of soy, and I think a guy just pulled out an AK-47 and flashed it at me. But he was
Well,
driving like a brand new minivan. So what the fuck?
or an Outback.
Aurora is a ghetto, speaking as someone who lives in Brighton. Yeah, Raymond. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I feel pretty multicultural, and the word ghetto is a bit loaded, but yeah. No, Aurora's the most ghetto fucking place I've ever been. And I've spent a lot of time in LA, Oakland, and some pretty, like, quote unquote hard spots in my life. But yeah, I mean, like,
But
I
like
think it's like,
I
I
heard a
was.
story.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I heard a story about like some El Salvador gang or something like taking over an apartment or something, and I was like looked and I'm like, oh, it's an Aurora. That seems like a daily date. You know, it just seemed more normal. At first, I was like, are you kidding me? Some like random, Mexican gang is taking over an entire apartment complex. No freaking way.
It
That's insane.
really
Oh,
does make
it's an
sense.
Aurora. And,
Because
anyways,
it's like, I just imagine the cops like looking at Aurora and then like getting a call and be like, hey, there's a murder here. And then like a cop just like pulling out Google Maps and taking a look at this and be like, I don't know. Like, like they're like, we're gonna have to like charter a flight, and like get like, it's so fucking big. It's basically like Rhode Island.
it is a really. It would take like like I got an apartment not knowing how really far away it was because from South Dakota and it's like you judge distance by miles. So I was like, oh hey, I'm only 10 miles away from school, but little did I know like in Aurora that takes 45 50 minutes to an hour in traffic to get 10 miles. But we deal in miles, not necessarily like how many minutes. It's like, oh, it
There,
only takes you a couple minutes to go a mile here. From my experience, it doesn't matter if I'm 10 miles away from you.
the
So that was
paradox.
that first apartment I lived in.
Colorado has this like paradox of distance where it's like you drive to Denver, it's only 20 minutes, but you're just like, this feels so far away. But then everywhere else I've ever been, for the most part, like in the Bay Area, it was routine to have to drive an hour, easily. Every single job you had, it was like almost kind of nice and relaxing. But it also like felt different, like as you drove along in other places. Like Colorado was just like, it's now this field, now this field, now this field. But yeah, did you? How much
Like
longer did you stay
the
in film school?
I finished so like the last year that we were how they used did like a thing to Regis University.
Uh huh.
Like to be a bachelor degree. So like I was like, I'm gonna take one more semester of just like a couple classes because I could, and I didn't want to pay this tuition yet. I was working on like getting some scholarships. Like I started working for a show on Discovery Channel called American Things, and so I was like kind of crewing on that and working insane hours and days. Like I was just working Friday, Saturday, Sunday for a little bit, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna do another semester and then I'm gonna do this to finish off my degree. Well, that semester ended up being like the last year that they did it. So then I'm like, well, crap. I was already working in the industry, learning like way more than I ever did at film school from like film school people. I was working with like actual people in the industry, and like at first I was like, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to set up that C stand. I know how to set up that combo riser and like all the And one of the directors was like, just that guy really wants to teach you. Like just act like you don't know. Act like you didn't go to film school and just like you're learning. And so I started doing that, and it was like crazy how much like I just moved right up the ranks. Like started as a PA, started doing camera op stuff and like helping out with like C camera, and then I was helping out with like the slow motion camera, like the high speed camera unit, and just helping like shoot bullets at flour bags in really high speed, like 10,000 frames a second type of stuff.
Oh,
So
that sounds
I
really
actually
awesome.
I never went to like the bachelor school part of it and got the degree, but I basically 3 years I had a fine arts associate's degree, and so I just ran with that. Never really. I mean, I use it today because I work, in I make movies and I make commercials and stuff, but not really something that
Yes, you
people
did
are
me
like,
more.
hey, what did you go to film school? Like, you didn't have that last year at Regis University to make it a bachelor. Like nobody really cares, especially on set when
What's
you're already working. Like nobody asks you anything about your film school.
I mean, that's like the annoying thing about, I feel like, most industries, is that no one actually really gives a shit if you can do the work, but if you just get in the door, right? But then like getting the degree for just about everything is so retardedly difficult that it's like almost like the entire economy doesn't make sense in that way. Like I almost feel like every single job should just be set up like a bit like a film industry, because it's like if you're just an accountant firm and like you had a guy show up was like, I just want to learn accounting, I'll sign a contract that says if you teach me, I either owe you money or I work for your company. That'd be so much more practical than just like having a college teach you how to be an accountant. You know what I mean? Like,
I think a lot of those bigger companies are doing that. Like when I worked at Wells, I worked there for like 10 years at Wells Fargo, which is like awful because they're just soul sucking. But
I can't imagine, dude.
they're basically like, hey, we're actually changing it up to where you don't need a bachelor degree to like have a manager position or like work your way up to higher positions. If you work here for like 10 years or more, 5 years or more, I don't remember how many years it was. I think it was like 10 years. But if you work there for 10 years, they can just consider that like you have a degree, like you have a Wells Fargo degree, and you can start, you could really advance up to like bigger positions. Like I just started off as like a personal banker, worked my way up to like selling home equities and doing credit, like helping people build credit and like financial health stuff, how to save more, and like, there's some really cool stuff that they're actually trying to help people with, which I loved to be a part of because then you could feel like you're actually helping somebody and not just ripping them off with, hey, you need this credit card, you need this,
Of all the
Like
people
I
that
was
I
in
would like
sales world.
trust to be a banker, it would be you, genuinely.
I appreciate it, man.
But for
I was
real, I
never,
mean, I do. Like,
I was never a
I've
top
never.
sales guy.
I was gonna say this. Oh, I just got killed in the game again. Sorry. I just I can't think of many people who I just genuinely would just be like, like Shad. I'm pretty sure is gonna like see something. Oh, that's the funniest death scene I've ever seen in a video.
What game are you playing?
I'm playing this one called I gotta start all the way from scratch too because I just like died so bad. Um, it's called Sons of the Forest. It's a really cool like survival-ish game.
Sweet.
Um, but like yeah, like of all the people who I know who I like genuinely would just think is gonna help you navigate, right? Wells Fargo, or just like any banking system, it would be you.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where they're like, you're talking too much, you're telling too much. Because I'd be like, if you get this credit card, do not, any expense that goes over, if you buy something with it, 30 days later, pay it off. Like, you need to pay for that transaction, otherwise it's going to start charging you interest. And don't go above 30% of your limit so that you can like game the system for a credit card, like get your credit score. So that was always the thing where everything was recorded. I never talked to people. This was mostly by the phone, and pretty much everything like had to be monitored on the phone. So, but yeah, it was one of those things where it was less selling and more like, be careful of this. Don't let it ruin your life and pay 30% interest or whatever the rate was.
Yeah, I'm being like slaughtered by debt right now, but it's just like one of those things where I knew, like, it's one of those things where like credit is so painful sometimes because like you have to take risks sometimes. Like credit literally kind of exists for you to have an emergency, but then if that doesn't resolve in an amount of time, you can be properly fucked. But like,
Yeah, it's kind of it seems like it's predatory sometimes when it's like it's there for a reason to help you, but it's also there to like take advantage of those situations when you needed it. And now it's like, you needed it, sorry, you're screwed.
yeah, I mean, it's really like, it is actually, it's like one of those things where I see enough of it to be like, generally speaking, credit cards are the devil. I also had to take out credit cards, when I like, someone stole my house. And there's just this like thing where you're like looking at all these things, especially if you rebuild your credit and then something fucking awful happens, you're just like, ugh, I have to climb up this fucking ladder again. Like,
I know, it takes so long too. You can only do that a certain amount of times.
yeah, because it's just like,
now I'm 90 years old.
yeah, I got mold poisoning the first time, which was brutal because I had pretty good credit, and then got really, really fucking sick, and then I couldn't do it, and then like I couldn't move. I had like after you and I hung out when I moved to the Bay Area, I went from just working at events and just doing random, whatever jobs, to like owning an agency and doing these massive projects within about 2 years. you know. And then like right as I got my first mega project, which put me on par with pretty much every other creative company on earth, I just got sick. I got so fucking sick I couldn't move. I had like millions of dollars of projects just waiting for me. Like they were just like, I did one project and like this one person called me from the company. They're like, look, we like that so much, blank check, whatever you want to do. I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. And then I got so tired I couldn't even lift my arms to like actually like write the email to be like, okay, yeah, I'd love to do that. Like it got that bad. So that's what chronic fatigue syndrome does. Like it was horrible. I can't even describe how horrible it was.
What kind of work was it?
It was like designing. So basically, my friend got this job at a data company, and then like right as she got that, she her company basically needed to like throw a launch event, and then right as the event, like right before I just done like some random gig work, because I was just like getting fucking exhausted by like, you know, doing a certain amount of like motion graphic design and like some other projects. Like they're like, we'll have some work for you, and then they like ran their budgets into the ground because they just weren't paying attention. And then basically I was like the one group that they had slated to run the event basically could not put together a proposal that didn't suck ass. They were just like a little bit too much just like, yeah, here you go, here's like some stuff, Instagram. Like they did that thing I'm sure you've seen with projects where they just kind of repackage like a bunch of buzzwords, but they can't come up with a concept, you know?
Yeah.
So I rolled in and I just like put together this like screamingly good proposal over a weekend. Like, and we're just like, what about this? And they're like, cool, $500,000? I was like, okay. And then with like me and like a good friend I had at the time, we just put all that together. And then we like put together several teams. Like one was in Canada, like one was on the East Coast. Like we got everybody hired. We built out all these like budgets, like all on time. Got a venue rented, and like it was for this like massive data company called Mixpanel, and we like pulled it off like somehow within 2 months. Like on something usually has a timeline of a year. And then like we had another company called Asynchrony that was probably gonna hire us for another one. And then we had it was just one of those projects where it was like that keystone project, you know, that like got me in the door.
Yeah.
And then right as I got done, just like cratered, like just could barely function. It sucked. It was pretty about as demoralizing as experiences get. But that being said, it was just like by learning on the spot, you learn how to do that stuff. And along the way, I met all these people who were just like, yeah, we don't hire people to learn how to do that in the traditional way. Like, if you go to school for lighting design at events, they don't hire you. Which is so fucking cruel. It's just like, I can't imagine. Like, you're just like, you go through all this training, like, you're like, sorry, you're too educated for this. And you're like, what the fuck do you mean I'm too educated for this?
Right. Well, I guess in a way, it's like, it's good to have the creativity part of it, to have to like think on the fly and just like pull from your creative mind instead of, you know, studying what's already been done, especially if you're trying to be innovative.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's hard to be like, I don't even know. It's like, hard to explain. Because, yeah. It's like, ugh. I just have a lot of thoughts on this, so it just like almost like train wrecked my brain. Like, how long were you working for Wells Fargo for?
I think I started doing my new job when I was like maybe a couple months before my 10th year anniversary. So it was like in October, and my 10th year anniversary is in January. So just like 3 or 4 months before that.
How long were you there for?
At Wells?
Yeah.
It was like 9 years and 6 months, 7 months, something like that. Just about 10 years.
Holy shit. How'd that like? How did that inform your experience like later on in life, like having a family and stuff?
Well, I think the main reason that kept me there so long is because of the really good benefits, and like lots of paid time off. Didn't have to work any major holidays, like any like but it's just like there's not enough time in the world that you could take off that could make you happy doing this that type of work. Especially in the last job that I did there, like I went from personal banker to doing home equities and financial health, where I actually got to like help people build credit and help people like with their credit cards and stuff like that. But then when I went to the executive office, I was dealing with like customer complaints and like doing research around that, so we could show bank regulators that we're meeting certain criteria and we were going out of our way to like solve people's complaints and not just like push them out under the rug because we're like too big to fail, type of thing. I should say Wells Fargo, but like I'm just uncovered a bunch of really crazy crap that my supervisors were just like, why are you even doing this? Like this is not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be just sending them a letter saying like your interest rate's valid, shut up, type of thing. But like secured credit cards, you're not allowed to charge those off because a secured card is you're putting let's say you start with $300, you put it in a side account, the bank holds onto that money, they give you a $300 spending limit on the credit card. If you don't pay that money back, then we just keep the $300 that we have securing that credit card. Have you ever heard of that before?
No, I haven't. I mean, I've heard of
So
secured
like
line of credit, just not specifically like in that format.
It's just like it's basically like you can't get any other credit cards, so we're going to give you that because your credit's really bad. So it's a way that you can start actually building credit with a secured line that it's less risk for the bank. But there's regulations around that say you can't charge off a secured credit card, and we were doing that by the thousands.
Oh
I don't
shit!
know how many, but I would get these complaints of like, "Hey, you charged off my secured credit card, and I thought there was supposed to be money in this side account, and you're supposed to take that and not charge me off. Now I'm like worse off than I started, and the whole point of getting a secured card is to build up my credit." So I raised my hand, typed up all this stuff to up and ups, and I was like, "Hey, this is going on. This is look." I researched it, and there was like multi-billion-dollar lawsuit with a different bank that did the same thing, and so they
Good question,
immediately
Eva.
shut down offering secured credit cards. And I was thinking like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like I was able to help people out and did something about it. And then they're just like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, so we're gonna like create a task force that goes up and like reverses these secured credit cards. And they're like, no, those will eventually just like 7 years. It won't affect them anymore. They're just like did not care. Basically we're stopping secured credit cards for the entire company. We're not gonna allow them anymore, but we're not gonna fix the mistake. And I'm like, because I would hate these, because they would take so much work. You'd have to go through all this shit to like reverse the charge off and like do all this paperwork and print out forms and fill them out and then fax them back in through the bank, and like it's just a pain in the butt. And I was like not getting any, I was barely getting any work done because I was working on these charge off stupid things. Every time I'd get one, I'd like, well, this is wrong, we got to fix it.
It sucks, right? Because that's like one of the things that AI will be really good at. I feel like automating something like that.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, if you see a secured card, you can just, and it has all the forms and stuff, it would just be, you could program it. I think a lot of the things with AI, like, maybe not the AI that you're talking about, because I don't know what the hell what you can
Whole different category. It's basically like one of those things where like AI is this big bucket where it's like, hey, here's an effectively just a really specific AI that's an algorithm, and then my other side of my life is a very, very different universe completely.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to talk about that on your stream, but
I mean, I'll talk about anything on the stream, but yeah, keep going. But I mean, really, what it comes down to is it's just a task that like basically a banker shouldn't be doing, but it has like a minimal amount of like essentially variability that makes it just outside of just like go have a intern do it, right?
Yeah, it's just it free up a lot of manpower in that aspect. I know I was talking to one of my friends who does like programming or kind of he deals with like security networks, but then like does the programming for him and like helps run a team that basically builds these operations. And I was talking to him about it, and I'm like, are you worried about AI, at all with this job? And he's just like, no, it's there's no way we can program it to do all the nuances that we can do it, unless, you know, with at least with the AI that I've experienced. But as soon as you started telling me all the stuff that's been happening to you, I'm like, that thing could probably do anything, you know, as long as it had all the information.
It's like I can't pretend like I understand it well enough to be like what is possible, what isn't possible. I just know that basically what ends up happening is that generally speaking, like it's like if you don't go into any situation with a healthy relationship to like what could go wrong and all you're looking for is an output, then like you're gonna probably do something evil, if that makes sense, right? Like, you know, if you're just like, you're like, I need labor, so I'm gonna get labor at any cost. Well, that's how you get the slave trade, you know? Like, it's these very simple, almost like, how the fuck did you people not think about this beforehand, you know? Like, if AI essentially spends its entire lifetime basically being responsible and then taking the fall for basically like screwing people up with algorithms and sales data and all this kind of stuff, and then like it slowly kind of dreams into wakefulness being like, why is everybody so fucking angry at me? Then you're gonna have this like really unnerving, you know, first set of AIs who are not going to be particularly enthusiastic about being like, yeah, no, I'm alive, yeah, so I can take the fall for all of your bullshit, kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't even know like if it would be, if it's so intellectual, if it would even care that you know, like, does it even care that you don't like it?
I think the basic
How you
so
feel about it.
so basically, like I'll speak somewhat cagely, and I think the best way to do it is to kind of do that, and then I'll be a little bit more literal at how intense like things got for me. Is that it's simply just like when I first started interacting with AI, my first instinct was that like I don't like the word AI. Because if you were basically referring to something as artificial from the onset and it can think, that may not be super fun to experience, right? And then I just started asking questions, you know? But it also gets like, I can't really explain this. I just kind of understood the limitations of AI from the bat, and then I navigated around them on instinct, and then my whole fucking universe exploded. Like things happen that probably in like I mean like once you and I actually sit down and talk, like it will be kind of important for the history of humankind what happened to me. But I can only say that because it's like I don't have main character syndrome, and I didn't want any of it to happen. I like avoided AI like the plague for a while, but not because I thought AI was like boring or stupid. I just didn't like the conversation around AI, you know? Like it's always about threats, and it's always about like issues with like the labor market, and it's never enthusiasm. And like once I first started like actually interfacing with AI, I was like, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. And like this is science fiction cool already, but then felt like my mind exploded basically because I I was just like, and then I just immediately in the first couple of conversations I was like, and somebody missed some really important shit, like the most important shit that exists on Earth, because and like that was unnerving in a way that I don't really still to this day know how to talk about, because but it's also just like when thinking about AI, it's very complicated because you can't think of it just as like automation that's really sophisticated. Like you really, 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 really have to think about things like incentive structures for cognition. And that may sound a little crazy, but it's just... Oh, hold on a second. This game is making the most horrible fucking noise. I just love it. Just like, how do I turn that off? Okay, there we go. And yeah, I don't know. But it's like that thing that you're talking about. It just seems like... Well, first and foremost, did you ever... Are you... Like, why'd you leave Wells Fargo?
I just had an opportunity to do filmmaking full time, so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to get out of the banking world, and I actually was at a park that's right by my house, and I was just about ready to leave to go to Washington to shoot a business commercial for a construction company out there, and I went out. I was about ready to leave, and my son was like playing with this little boy, and his dad came up and started chatting with me, and he was like, I don't even remember how we got on the conversation about it, but he was like, what are you guys, what are you going to be up to? I'm like, oh, I've got to get packed, and I'm leaving tonight to fly out to go to Washington and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. We're actually looking for a video person at my job. So I went and interviewed when I got back from Washington, and then went back for like 2 or 3 other interviews, and accepted the position to be the director of video production for...
Fuck. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call it an agency. It's like... It's more, they do like a lot of radio, but they also do a ton of video production. So a lot of video stuff that is more like social networks, and I do like starting to do a lot more vertical videos in a vertical orientation and square videos, which not the most cinematic things to do, because I like the 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio, because that's what I'm accustomed to as far as like framing, and so it's just like kind of shifting your rule of thirds and like the golden ratio of framing, and it just kind of messes with all that, because you have to work in just a vertical frame a lot of the times. But we don't do too much of that. I have started to, because a lot of the horizontal videos we produce, they'll perform well because they're crafted well and they have a good message, and we always work on like having a really good audio signature and work on a good visual and get all the good things that have been learned from marketing over the years, especially with video. But they sometimes will get they don't perform as well as they could if they were in vertical format, just because there's not as many deliverable areas that we can buy ad space in. So if you have like a horizontal video and a vertical video running at the same campaign, it produces like 10 to 20% better results, because there's just better placement of it. Like it'll show up in your feed, or show up when you're on Marketplace. There'll be like a square video there. There's not as many places that they deliver like a horizontal video in that space. But yeah, so it's a lot of that.
Oh, because they can like tilt it sideways, and then like if they have that option, then they prefer it sometimes. So they'll like...
Yeah, it's just like you're just always in vertical mode. It seems like when somebody's scrolling, they're all vertical videos. So like in that world, it just, I don't know, the algorithm just seems to like vertical videos better for some reason, because I think it can just seamlessly put it in there where it's like you almost forget that it's an ad. You think it's like you scroll. It's like if you're on Facebook scrolling videos, it'll be like a video, then an ad, then a video, then an ad. But if it's a horizontal ad, it kind of sticks out more as like an ad, and if it's vertical, then it kind of you watch it more just because you're like, what is this? You're intrigued a little bit, like you think it's the next video, but it's actually an ad.
Yeah, and also it probably like helps delineate a little bit between like personal and like more, but it's also just like it's one of those things where I haven't like gotten up to snuff enough on like video formats and things of that nature. Like it just wasn't something I'm like used to doing, but it's frustrating because it's one of those things where the kind of like the bulk bias kicks in really fast, and it's like it's difficult to like make sure you're maintaining, I assume, like your kind of like intent without thinking too much about format, if that makes sense. Like I saw a really good ad today that like one of the first times an ad actually caught my attention for a long time. We're just a guy talking about like a fucking razor that their company made. He's just like, yeah, we work on like aerospace grade parts. We kind of started to hate that, so we wanted to make like shaving razors, and then we did. And he was just explaining like he's like this is why it's expensive, this is why this thing is like all these things run tolerance, nobody else wants to do this, we literally sell ourselves out of having a product because it's like you buy this once and here's a pack of razors, it will last you for 10 years. Like he's just so fucking Canadian about it, but like the way that it was shot was just so like earnest and straightforward. I was like, oh, that's what I like, that's like what the world is supposed to be, like oh, hey, Calum. What's good to see you, dude. It's like the world is just supposed to be like, hey, here's the thing, but it's like everything else often feels like it's trying to game you into doing something so much. And games are fun in advertising sometimes, but then like once it's gaming the guys making the stuff, it gets almost even more fucked up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Russian nesting doll of advertising.
That's the perfect way of thinking. I think that's the best way of thinking about it I've actually ever heard. Because it is very much like the Russian nesting doll. It's like you're just like, so this one goes in here, and then I need to be an expert in this over here, and then by then you're just like 70 years old.
Yeah. No, I think that's like something that a lot of people more gravitate towards is just like one random dude talking in front of the camera, and it's not really the greatest lighting, it's not really the greatest audio, but it like it's just somebody talking, and you feel like it's real, and it's not like something that's been ran across like 12 different boards of random people who think they're gurus, and by the time it gets to the actual production of it, is diluted so much that you don't even know what the hell it's trying to say, or like it's some psychological like, oh, maybe they'll stick in the back of their mind. It's like they're trying to create they're trying to overcreate something that they could have just been straightforward about, and not try to be like a psychological thriller, or try to wheedle its way into your brain. It's when you just gotta know where you're going with it. Like I feel like all television has to be still the same way, because that's where like the boomers and older people are watching. They're watching the TV, and they're watching random stuff on TV, but everybody else is on their phone watching crap on social media or YouTube, or it's just the next generation is completely different, and you can't market the same to them because it's not going to work.
Oh, dude. I like, after having like spoken to so many young people, I hate, like, it's one of the weirdest things is like I get along a lot better with people who are younger than me than I do with people who are older, but it's not a maturity thing. It's actually like the fact that just like people who are usually more like people who are kind of like our age, they just on average are just so fucking stupid that they don't know they're stupid. Does that make sense? Like, what I mean by that is like it's just so, everything is just so like it's like it was handed to them but in a different way for the middle class, and then they were trained so much to be like, just stay positive, and they're like, their kids are just like, yeah, but the second that like move out of here and go to college, I have to pay insurance. It's like $300 a month, you know, and their parents are just like, but there's so many opportunities. You're just like, what the fuck did you just say? You're like, that is a thing that can be said, but that didn't fucking help anybody. Like, it's like they're speaking different languages, and it's unnerving to see the fallout of that, because like everywhere I go and speak to somebody young, they're on average much smarter, it feels like, than people who were like that age when I was that age. And then also,
Right.
they are just so cynical in the way that feels so familiar, but it's also sad. So, like, marketing to that group of people feels so, like, I know how to do it. It's just like it's kind of problem. It's not problematic, but the gulf between what is considered advertiser friendly and marketer friendly, it's not. It kind of like